7 of 9's Borg children on Star Trek, Voyager explained. Former Borg drone 7 of 9, Jerry Ryan, was a mother figure and mentor to a group of ex-Borg children in Star Trek, Voyager. Voyager's Borg kids had been assimilated as children, just like 7, who was only 6 years old when her parents' ship, the USS Raven, was caught after years of evading capture. Young Annika Hansen was the daughter of Aaron and Mangus Hansen, Federation scientists whose study of the Borg brought them to the Delta Quadrant. Annika was too young to become a drone, so she was placed in a maturation chamber until she was older. Recently liberated from the Borg collective, 7 was still figuring out how to reclaim her own humanity when the USS Voyager encountered a Borg cube that had been struck by a virus in Star Trek, Voyager Season 6, Episode 16, Collective. The virus rendered the cube all but inert, killing all the drones aboard except a few children who were protected by their maturation chambers. Severed from the rest of the Borg, the kids formed their own version of a collective. Instead of destroying the neonatal drones, 7 of 9 took responsibility for the children on board Voyager. There were 7 of 9's Borg children on Star Trek, Voyager. 7 of 9 became the adoptive guardian to Star Trek, Voyager's Borg children after convincing the neonatal collective to rediscover their individuality like she had. The self-appointed leader, first, Ryan Spawn, died while refusing to leave the cube. Azan, Kurt Wetherill, and Rebai, Cody Wetherill, were Vasanti twins, and Mizodi, Marley S. McLean, was a Norcadian girl. The oldest was Ikub, Mono Interami, a teenage Brunali boy whose initial assimilation had been a ploy to infect the Borg with a genetically engineered virus. After the younger children reunited with their families, 7 of 9 took personal responsibility for Icheb's future. 7 of 9 oversaw the day-to-day lives of the Borg children, who used the spare regeneration units in 7's cargo bay while the USS Voyager crew searched for their original families. 7's parenting style was heavily influenced by her own Borg upbringing, with a strict daily schedule that included the ingestion of nutrients, scientific education, and exercise. 1 hour in the afternoon was allotted for recreation, with fun commencing at 1500 hours. Despite this rigid outline, 7's relationship with the ex-Borg children taught 7 that caring for others was an important part of becoming an individual. 7 of 9 also had a special friendship with Star Trek, Voyager's Naomi Wildman. Naomi Wildman, Scarlett Pomers, was the USS Voyager's first child and an unlikely friend to 7 of 9. Born in Star Trek, Voyager Season 2, Episode 21, Deadlock, to Ensign Samantha Wildman, Nancy Hauer, Naomi's half-Katarian DNA accelerated her growth relative to humans, so Naomi was old enough to befriend 7 in Voyager's later seasons. 7 was a non-Starfleet mentor for Naomi, while Naomi represented a younger version of 7 who hadn't been assimilated. Just as the Doctor, Robert Picardo, helped 7 reclaim humanity, Naomi helped 7 reclaim a childhood that had been lost to the Borg. Bringing Ikub, Mizodi, Azan, and Rebai onto the USS Voyager meant that Naomi was no longer the USS Voyager's only child. Naomi Wildman did her part to help 7 reintroduce the Borg kids to their own lives, and was happy to give the child's perspective that 7 still lacked. Ikub maintained contact with 7 during her Fenris Ranger days, but Ikub died in Star Trek, Picard after his Borg components were poached. 7 of 9's Borg children were an important part of 7's Star Trek, Voyager family, who ultimately helped teach 7 how to care for others. The Borg Collective is among the most feared and enigmatic entities in the Star Trek universe, embodying the loss of individuality and the pursuit of relentless assimilation. Yet within the cold, calculating machinery of the Collective, we occasionally catch glimpses of humanity, particularly through characters like 7 of 9, formerly Annika Hansen. Throughout Star Trek, Voyager, 7's journey from drone to individual provides some of the show's most compelling character development. A particularly fascinating subplot occurs when 7 becomes a mentor and protector to a group of former Borg children. This storyline explores themes of identity, belonging, and the complex relationships between individuals freed from collective control. The Borg children in Star Trek, Voyager. The story of 7's Borg children begins in the Season 6 episode, Collective. Voyager encounters a Borg cube adrift in space. Upon investigating, the crew discovers that the cube's adult drones have been killed by a pathogen, leaving behind a group of assimilated children. These young drones are stranded without guidance, but their connection to the collective has not yet been fully severed. Captain Janeway and the crew rescue the children and begin the process of reintegrating them into individuality. The four children, Azan, Ribai, Mezodi, and Ikub, each have unique stories and personalities shaped by their experiences with the Borg. Initially distrustful and resistant to Voyager's crew, they eventually form a bond with Seven of Nine, who takes on a maternal and mentoring role for them. Her guidance is crucial as they adapt to life outside the collective and grapple with questions of selfhood and individuality. Seven's relationship with the children also provides her with a deeper understanding of her own humanity. Who are the Borg children? Ikub. Ikub is the oldest and most prominent of the Borg children. He hails from a species known as the Brunali, who are frequently targeted by the Borg. Ikeb's tragic backstory is revealed in the episode Child's Play. The Brunali genetically engineered him to serve as a biological weapon against the Borg, a fact that he only learns after being rescued by Voyager. Despite this, Ikub grows into a highly intelligent and resourceful young man. His aptitude for science and technology mirrors Seven's own skills, and he becomes a valued member of the crew. Ikeb's relationship with Seven is one of the most developed and emotionally impactful in the storyline. Seven sees a reflection of her younger self in Ikub, and her efforts to guide him represent her continued journey toward understanding her own humanity. Their bond deepens over time, with Ikub often challenging Seven to see herself beyond her Borg past. Mezodi. Mezodi is a Norcadian girl who was assimilated by the Borg at a very young age. Her sharp wit and curious nature often bring a lighter tone to the group's dynamic. Mezodi is deeply inquisitive about her individuality, and her journey reflects the challenges of reclaiming one's identity after assimilation. While she forms a strong bond with the other children, she is particularly close to Seven, who acts as both a mentor and a parental figure. Mezodi's innocence and resilience provide a poignant counterbalance to the darker themes of assimilation and loss. Azan and Ribai. Azan and Ribai are twin brothers from the Visani species. Though they are less developed as characters compared to Ikub and Mezodi, they play an important role in the group dynamic. The twins share a strong bond with one another, which provides a sense of stability and comfort during their transition to individuality. Like the others, Azan and Ribai benefit from Seven's guidance and eventually leave Voyager to reunite with their people. Seven of Nine's role as a mentor. Seven's relationship with the Borg children is deeply significant to her character arc. As someone who has struggled with her own reclamation of individuality, Seven is uniquely suited to help the children navigate their experiences. Her initial approach is, unsurprisingly, rooted in logic and efficiency. She views their rehabilitation as a task to be completed. However, as she spends more time with them, she begins to recognize the emotional and psychological dimensions of their journey. Through her interactions with the children, Seven is forced to confront her own vulnerabilities and unresolved trauma. She learns to empathize with their struggles and, in doing so, grows closer to understanding her own humanity. The children's dependence on her also challenges Seven's sense of independence, teaching her the value of connection and community. Themes of identity and individuality. The Borg children's storyline explores profound themes of identity and individuality. Each child must grapple with the loss of the collective structure while learning to embrace their own uniqueness.